Hey folks, Dude here, coming to you on Tuesday, April 14th. And, looking around for various subjects which come to mind. And for me personally, my biggest problem currently, and probably going to be for a very long time to come, is, I'm mildly arthritic, and I do have a bad knee. I mean, I actually have three arthros in it. Pretty much bone on bone. Most of my meniscus is shot. Most of my ligaments are shot. It's going to be a long, slow road downhill to knee replacement. I'm probably thinking, probably in the order of about the next 5 years or so, I'm probably going to get the knee replaced. It's getting tired. So anyway, classically, people will go, well, you need some pain relief. Just grab something over the counter. Well, almost always somebody will say, I'm just grabbing bottles here. So they'll always say something akin to, Tylenol or acetaminophen. Now, acetaminophen or Tylenol does work. It is in prescription strength, which is not hard to do, okay? Your average tablet strength is going to be 500 milligram or 250 milligram. All you have to do is go to 1,000 milligrams. That is prescription strength. You simply just take two. A friend of mine who's a surgical nurse some years ago, after I crashed and burned, slipped and fell on the ice, had whiplash. I was like, man, I'm really hurt. She goes, take some Tylenol. I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to work. She goes, no. Take some Tylenol. Take 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, and you will have pain relief. Lo and behold, I tried it, and it does work. Now, the thing is, you have to be very careful with Tylenol. Now, I gotta reduce my player box here so I can see what I'm talking about. The biggest thing you truly don't ever want to just wish to ever do to yourself with Tylenol is if you're hungover, do not pound down a bunch of Tylenol in which to relieve your symptoms. Reason being, is the alcohol will interact with the Tylenol and will cause liver damage. Now, the thing about it is, with acetamin liver damage, the clinical sequence is nausea and vomiting for the first 12 to 14 hours, and then you look like you're well for the next 12 to 24 hours, after which the abnormal liver blood test will show results. Now, it actually is an antidote, believe it or not. There's actually something called N-acetylcysteine, which is available, and if you give it to the patient within 16 hours, it will help alleviate the symptoms, will fix things, and all the rest of that good stuff like that there. But that's the clinical side. Do not OD on Tylenol / acetaminophen ever, or take it in great quantity after you're hungover. Don't do that. The best thing you do for a hangover is you have two best solutions to that: hydration and sleep. That's pretty much about it. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get all those waste products out of your bloodstream. Don't pound down a bunch of acetaminophen or Tylenol trying to fix the problem. You're just going to hurt things. Now, conversely, there is actually other medications. I'm going to leave it in the field of view here. There is other medications that you can use that actually do help to some degree. Of course, you also have Naproxen or ALEVE. Now, for me personally, this is one of these panaceas that it works. For me, I could take two of these things, and I pretty much have about, 12 hours of pain relief. The kicker is you cannot use more than 3 of these tablets per day. So if you're trying to time your pain relief, you better take these in the proper timetable. So if you take them, during the process of working out or something, it's going to take a long time before it really starts to work and pick up and help you. The thing you got to do is, if you're going to go out and do some running and gunning, and you're going to be hurting all day, load up beforehand. Now, clinically, they found that Naproxen or ALEVE, combined with, of all things, ibuprofen, will give you a unbelievable pain relief up to and including, if not at, narcotics. So if you're dealing with oxycodone or OxyContin, Percocets, any of those other ones, which is pretty much a combination of usually like acetaminophen or ibuprofen or something of those guys, and of course opiates, morphine. It works on order that. Usually what happens is, if you combine this and this, you will have the same kind of pain relief, believe it or not, as an opiate. So you can try this for your own purposes. Usually what I find works for me is, the safe dosage on this, they normally say, is no more than about 1,000 milligrams. These are 200 milligram pills. Okay? So what you wish to do is 5 of these, 2 of these, before you start running and gunning for the day. The big thing I can always tell you, most assuredly, always take these with food, especially ALEVE. Naproxen will definitely get your stomach very upset. Ibuprofen can be very, very rough on your stomach as well. If you go too hardcore with this stuff, you will get yourself to the point where you're ulcering and vomiting blood. Don't do that. Always take these guys with food. Tylenol seems to be a bit more forgiving, or acetaminophen seems to be a bit more forgiving in terms of stomach upset. These two guys can be rough on you. Always take them with food. Always. But, you know, in terms of pain relief, sometimes combining a couple of OTC products can work just as good as their script stuff. And in the worst of times, that's something that, well, can come back and help you in the long run. Because these are easily available. Get them without a script. I'm going to break up on this one, folks. Eat good, keep it a 10 ring. As always, you know it, you love it. Sometimes pain relief is sometimes just as simple as walking over to your medicine cabinet. See you guys.